现在，让我们热烈的掌声欢迎各位常委。
In November 2012, the Communist Party of China ushered in a new chapter in its history. At this historic moment, Xi Jinping made a solemn commitment.
我们的责任就是要团结带领全党、全国各族人民接过历史的接力棒，继续为实现中华民族伟大复兴而努力奋斗，使中华民族更加坚强有力地自立于世界民族之林，为人类做出新的更大的贡献。
Since the 18th CPC National Congress, socialism with Chinese characteristics has entered a new era. We are like examinees sitting the tests posed by this era, and the people will review our results. The CPC has been committed to seeking happiness with the Chinese people and rejuvenation of the Chinese nation, and contributing to human progress and world harmony. Fulfilling its commitment, the CPC has created miracles one after another.
中华民族迎来了从站起来、富起来到强起来的伟大飞跃，实现中华民族伟大复兴进入了不可逆转的历史进程。
Deep in the mountains of Upholding County in northern China, this group of music-loving children were born to once impoverished families. Perhaps they had never imagined that one day their songs would impress many in other parts of the world. On February 4th, 2022, this children's choir was invited to sing the Olympic anthem at the opening ceremony of the Beijing Winter Olympics. 14 children of the choir were from families once registered as poverty-stricken. Going out of the mountains used to be their long-cherished dream.
以前我们都住在这个大山里边，特别苦，一家也就1亩多点地。 然后都种点玉米，那个土豆，收入个1-2千块钱。
2012年的时候，我们国家呢大约还有1个亿绝对贫困人口，所以当时的这个扶贫的任务还是比较重的。
What Zhang hadn't expected was that life in the village started to change during the winter of 2012. In December that year, the party's top leader Xi Jinping braved the winter cold to visit Upholding County, where he called for national efforts to battle poverty.
12年是村里的那个贫困是110户，在那个村里的比例是70%多。总书记问那个车够不够，穿这个衣服够不够，我们挺详细的。总书记说的，只要有信心，黄土变成金，对我们鼓励很大。
Since taking the helm of the party in 2012, Xi has made poverty alleviation a priority during his domestic inspections. He conducted over 50 fact-finding trips and personally visited all 14 contiguous poor areas across the country. During all these trips, Xi always put people front and center.
人民对美好生活的向往，就是我们的奋斗目标。
这10年来，总书记呢，在领导党和国家事业发展的过程里面，真的把这样一种宣言贯彻落实到实际当中，落实在 国家发展的战略层面上。
今天呢，我们寨子里的一对新人，他们要在这里结婚喽。
我小的时候呢，我们这边是特别的贫困，那时候呢，我们村连一条像样的路都没有。那时候因为穷嘛，很多的大龄青年都娶不上媳妇，外面的姑娘都不愿意嫁进来，嫁进来第一个产业也没有。
In November 2013, Xi visited Xibadong village and put forward the concept of targeted poverty alleviation for the first time.
我们在这个抓扶贫的时候，切忌喊大口号，也不要定那些好高骛远的目标。扶贫攻坚呢，就是要实事求是、因地制宜、分类指导、精准扶贫。
Xi's words brought a ray of hope to the poor and remote village. In just over 3 years, all impoverished families in Xibadong were brought out of poverty.
18洞道路变快了，村寨变美，产业变大，群众变富了，越来越多有想法、有干劲的年轻人都回来。18洞现在有了新的希望。
In the epic war against poverty, Xi assumed the historic responsibility of leading this fight. He personally drew plans, supervised the battle, and presided over key poverty relief meetings or symposiums. This symposium in March 2020 had been the largest of its kind since the 18th CPC National Congress in 2012. She stressed that lifting all rural residents living below the current poverty line out of poverty by 2020 was a solemn promise made by the CPC Central Committee, and it must be fulfilled on time. It's a promise kept. In late 2020, China, the world's most populous country, managed to eliminate absolute poverty. Countless people have seen their lives changed for the better, and their dreams fulfilled. Besides poverty problems, air pollution is another hard nut to crack. In February 2014, Beijing was often shrouded in smog, recording off-the-charts air pollution. During an inspection tour in Beijing that month, Xi said much attention should be paid to environmental protection, as air pollution is a major issue concerning people's livelihood. With Xi as the top commander, China declared war against air pollution and carried out a raft of measures. Xi's vision for blue skies has gradually come true. In November 2014, as the 22nd APEC Economic Leaders Meeting was held in Beijing, the city's azure skies drew much attention.
也有人说呢，现在北京的蓝天是 APEC 蓝，美好而短暂，过了这一阵就没了。我希望并相信，通过不懈的努力 ，APEC 蓝呢能够保持下去。
In May 2018, Xi said the country will fight a good battle against pollution during a tone-setting meeting on environmental protection. 1 month later, China unveiled a guideline to win the battle against pollution of air, water, and soil. A beautiful China with green mountains, clear waters, and fresh air, as envisioned by President Xi, is gradually taking shape. In 2021, in cities at or above the prefectural level, the average intensity of PM 2.5 decreased by 34.8%, as compared with that in 2015, and the proportion of days with good air quality reached 87.5%, up 6.3% over that in 2015. This is Xi's second inspection tour of Wuhan since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic.
"总书记啊，是我们的贴心人。第一个就是关心防控的问题，第二个就是下沉党员的这个工作情况，第三个呢，就提到了我们的民生问题。"
2 years ago, Wuhan, a city of over 10 million people, had been hit hard by COVID-19. At the crucial juncture, Xi attached high importance to COVID-19 prevention and control, and assumed full command over the control efforts. He declared a people's war against COVID-19 by mobilizing the force of the whole country. Hubei province, of which Wuhan is the capital, was asked to close all outbound channels. Unprecedented measures were taken for COVID-19 prevention and control, and efforts were made to strike a balance between pandemic control and economic and social development.
为了保护人民生命安全，我们什么都可以活得出来。
China has insisted on making people's lives and health the priority. A dynamic zero-COVID policy has been adopted, with an aim to contain domestic virus flare-ups through timely actions. As the COVID-19 response measures were enforced on a regular basis, China has effectively responded to regional cluster infections and provided the best protection for people's lives and health as it can. Following a people-centered development philosophy, the Chinese leadership has been working to meet the people's ever-growing needs in various areas, like education, medical care, elderly care, and housing.
"我们的社区老有所依，老有所爱，老有所乐。"
现在我们赫哲族的聚居区是现代化的楼房和新村生态宜居。
咱们老百姓呀，不仅家里改测了，污水得到收集了，村容村貌是越来越好了。
我们现在学习生活的非常好，我还参加了足球社团，很开心。
뉴스에서 진출 스쿼트림 뉴스에서 뭐 현재 간다 시작하세요.
Xi has said people's happy lives are the matter of the most fundamental importance to the country. No matter how busy he is, Xi always finds time to be with people.
我永远握不住赵书记的关心。
好像是在这个情人眼里，什么也关心，关心那个农村里的事儿，关心你上学吧、看病吧。 一年收入啊，
总书记的这话，我一辈子记在心里，给我们中华的农民更大的温暖，更大的信心。
现在我们沈长春变得这么好了，我们家里也这么好了。
民之所忧，我必念之；民之所盼，我必行之。
During his about 5 decades in politics, from a grassroots party chief to China's top leader, Xi has always kept people close to his heart. Now, he's leading the country's 1.4 billion people in the advance towards the second centenary goal of building a modern socialist country in all respects. At a ceremony marking the CPC's 100th founding anniversary in 2021, Xi said,
经过全党全国各族人民 持续奋斗，我们实现了第一个100年奋斗目标，在中华大地上全面建成了小康社会，历史性地解决了绝对贫困问题，正在意气风发，向着全面建成社会主义现代化强国的第2个100年奋斗目标迈进。
On November 29, 2012, Chinese President Xi Jinping visited the Road Toward Renewal exhibition in Beijing. Here, Xi, for the first time, explained the ambitious goal of realizing the nation's rejuvenation, saying it's the greatest dream in the country's modern history. He said socialism with Chinese characteristics is the path that must be taken to realize the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. Over the past 10 years, in a bid to fulfill the Chinese dream, the Chinese leadership has been continuously improving the top-level design and developing socialism with Chinese characteristics in the new era.
今天，我们比历史上任何时期都更接近、更有信心和能力实现中华民族伟大复兴的目标。
In the new era, an integrated plan has been implemented for building socialism with Chinese characteristics, which covers 5 spheres, namely economic, political, cultural, social, and ecological advancement. In June this year, a tunnel boring machine, independently developed and produced by Chinese company CREG, was delivered to Portugal. Back in the 1990s, however, China had to rely on imports for this kind of machine. In May 2014, President Xi visited an assembly plant of CREG. He said the country should push for the transformation from made in China to created in China, from China speed to China quality, and from Chinese products to Chinese brands.
这10年的发展是中铁装备实现从跟跑到并跑，再到部分领跑的这个过程。产品呢，到目前为止已经出口到德国、法国、意大利、澳大利亚等30多个国家和地区。
Over the past decade, China has stepped up technological innovation to power growth. President Xi has stressed efforts to apply the new development philosophy and foster a new development pattern to advance high-quality and sustainable economic and social development.
我们必须也一定能够把我们的关键核心的技术掌握在自己的手里，把红旗这样一个民族品牌发扬光大。
The regional development gap within China has been narrowing over the past decade, thanks to the country's efforts to coordinate regional development. President Xi has personally championed plans to facilitate regional development, such as those for the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region, the Yangtze River Economic Belt, and the Guangdong-Hong Kong-Macau Greater Bay Area. The country has been promoting the large-scale development of the Western region, all-round revitalization of the Northeast, the rise of the Central region, and has supported the Eastern region in taking the lead in transforming and upgrading the economy.
微体整体布局既是中国特色社会主义建设的路线图，也是任务书。其中，经济建设是根本， 政治建设是保障。
This civic centre in Shanghai is one of the community-level contact stations set up by the Standing Committee of the NPC, China's top legislative body. On November 2nd, 2019, President Xi visited the civic centre when residents were having a heated discussion about a draft law. Opinions at the grassroots level can be solicited and forwarded to the national legislature, which offers a glimpse of how China's whole process democracy operates.
包括民法总则的听取意见，还有呢未成年人保护法、预防未成年人犯罪法，还有我们第一步征集的反家庭暴力法等等，这些意见都是参与过的。
The Chinese people have the rights to participate extensively in state governance, a right which is embodied in all aspects, including elections, consultations, decision-making, administration, and supervision.
作为一个常委会的组成人员我深刻体会到，全国人大常委会的监督工作得到了不断的改进，主要是表现在监督制度不断完善，监督的深度和广度不断得到加强，而且监督的方法也在不断的创新。
President Xi has stressed that democracy is not an ornament to be used for decoration. It is to use to solve the problems that the people wants to solve. He said the whole process people's democracy in China is the broadest, most genuine, and most effective socialist democracy. It is rooted in China's history and culture, suited to China's national conditions, and is able to solve China's problems. Over the past decade, public opinion has been solicited on 217 draft laws, and more than 3.8 million suggestions have been made by more than 1.2 million people. Over the past 5 years, 4,648 proposals and 84,028 suggestions have been put forward by national lawmakers. The NPC Standing Committee has responded to and implemented every proposal and suggestion, and has promoted the resolution of a number of outstanding issues of common concern for the people. Over the past 10 years, China's top political advisory body has received more than 58,000 proposals, and a great number of them have made it into policies and measures of the country. Culture is the soul of a nation, and strong cultural confidence is a vital foundation for realizing national rejuvenation.
文化自信是一个国家、一个民族发展中更基本、更深沉、更持久的力量。
Xi has called for adhering to Marxism as the fundamental guiding ideology, carrying forward the revolutionary culture, developing advanced socialist culture, and extracting vitality from China's fine traditional culture. This museum, which was inaugurated in 2021, showcases the history of the world's largest governing party, as well as the fine spirit of its members. This red building in Beijing, once the main campus of Peking University, witnessed the early spread of Marxism in China. Young people today are still inspired by the spirit of their peers during the early history of the party.
以青春之我，创建青春之国家。创建青春之国家。 心常放心，强国有我。
The Chinese nation has a time-honored history and rich civilization. The fine traditional culture that the Chinese nation has created and carried forward in its thousands of years of history is the root and soul of the Chinese nation. President Xi often stressed the importance of strong cultural confidence and thriving culture in the pursuit of national rejuvenation.
上方迹象能够有今天，要感谢我们的习近平总书记，在大家都很注重经济建设的时候，他就已经注意到经济建设跟文物保护同等重要的这种的高度。
当我们手机放在果画前面的时候呢，我们看到有一个画中仙。那么我们通过手机的操控，可以控制这个人物的这个移动。AR 画卷呢是得益于这个视觉识别技术这样的一个突飞猛进的发展，大大的改变了传统静态画作没有办法展示的内容。比如说地理信息、当时的气候、天气以及当时的风土人情，极大的提升了文物开口说话的能力。
让收藏在博物馆里的文物，陈列在广阔大地上的遗产，书写在古迹里的文字都活起来。
In the new era, China has been developing a strong socialist culture and strengthened its cultural confidence, offering a solid base for achieving the dream of national rejuvenation. In the new era, the Chinese leadership sees the well-being of the people as the fundamental goal of development. The country has been making great efforts to promote equity and sharing of development outcomes to deliver real benefits to the people.
老百姓的这个收入明显的有所提升，这个环境方面大大的改善了，这个人的这个精神面貌也发生了很大的变化。
Building an ecological civilization is vital to sustain the Chinese nation's development. Over the past decade, ecological conservation has been incorporated into the five-sphere integrated plan for building socialism with Chinese characteristics. Under the guidance of Xi's vision of ecological civilization, tremendous progress on greening China has taken place. On April 20th, 2020, President Xi visited the Qinling Mountains at the first stop of his inspection tour in China's Shanxi province. The Qinling Mountains are a natural boundary between the country's north and south. They are seen as the central water tower of the country and an important Chinese cultural symbol. However, driven by selfish interests, clusters of illegal villas had been built on the once lush vegetation of the Qinling Mountains. President Xi made 6 instructions on tackling these villas, demanding a thorough investigation into the problem and the failure of officials to comply with orders from the central authorities. More than 1,100 illegal villas at the northern foot of the Qinling Range were demolished according to law.
这一块地在过去是咱们村上的一个转二场，城里人建了一部分别墅，这个别墅还没有完全建起后呢，这个咱们这个秦岭保护这个就开始了。拆除了以后，经过这几年的这个土壤改造，现在这种的是玉米，玉米还来种梅子，甚至种蔬菜，这都连续这个把这个地都利用好了。
Li has been deeply impressed by Xi's words that, if we do not fail nature, nature shall never fail us.
秦岭保护的加强，在这个燕山这一块以后呢，是全国从这个单一的总量经营，现在已经变为多行经营，尤其果叶种植。现在目前来讲，这个果叶生产已经达到全村生产的多半比例。
As President Xi Jinping said, China has made historic, transformative, and comprehensive ecological progress over the past decade. At the 19th CPC National Congress, to fully understand that lucid waters and lush mountains are invaluable assets, was incorporated into the party constitution. Under the guidance of Xi's thought on ecological civilization, the country is embarking on a journey to a green, beautiful and sustainable future. In addition to the five-sphere integrated plan, China has also been advancing coordinated development of the 4 comprehensives. First raised in late 2014, the 4 comprehensive were President Xi's blueprint for China's future, building a moderately prosperous society, deepening reform, advancing rule of law, and strengthening strict party governance. Among the 4 tasks, building a moderately prosperous society in all respects has now been accomplished.
在党的19届5中全会上，作为10个全面战略目标之一的全面节省小康社会发展为全面节省社会主义现代化国家，10个全面战略布局是在当前中国问题最关键的把握，可以说抓住了它，叫抓住了解决问题的一领子和牛鼻子。
President Xi has also underscored strengthening confidence in the path, theory, system, and culture of socialism with Chinese characteristics, and driving forward the historical process of natural rejuvenation. During the decade of the new era, under the leadership of the CPC, China has achieved the miracles of rapid economic growth and long-term social stability, with historic achievements and changes accomplished in the cause of the party and the country.
回首过去，展望未来，有中国共产党的坚强领导，有全国各族人民的紧密团结，全面建成社会主义现代化强国的目标一定能够实现，中华民族伟大复兴的中国梦一定能够实现。
The past decade has seen historic achievements and historic shifts in the cause of the party and the country. Many say that the fundamental reason is having Xi steering the cause at the core of the CPC Central Committee and the party as a whole, as well as having the guidance of Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era.
Palestinians, including several children, have been killed. 以色列多名高官表示，不排除对伊朗发动军事打击的可能性。The United Nations Security Council is holding an emergency session to discuss the escalating conflict in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo.
The world today faces both opportunities and challenges. It is undergoing profound changes unseen in a century. The surging trend toward multipolarity, economic globalization, IT application, and cultural diversity. Amid the changing times, China's governing party, the CPC, has been looking to the future of humanity with a global vision, contributing to human progress and world harmony.
当今世界，各国相互依存，休戚与共。我们要继承和弘扬联合国宪章的宗旨和原则，构建以合作共赢为核心的新型国际关系，打造人类命运共同体。
Building a community with a shared future for mankind is President Xi's signature global vision. It embodies the ideas of building a world that enjoys lasting peace, universal security, and common prosperity. In East Africa, Kenya is known as a land of wonder. From its vast grasslands to epic landforms, people in this country have always believed in miracles.
Guys, what is wrong with the TV?
Siaipe is a remote village in Narok County, Kenya. Watching TV used to be a luxury for local residents. In recent years, Chinese media company StarTimes brought satellite television services here as part of a China-aided project to connect 10,000 African villages to satellite TV.
I can remember the day when I came to install StarTimes decoder here. Children were very happy. There was joy everywhere.
My favorite sports channel is in StarTimes. I can't explain how I feel playing football. I love football and football is in my blood.
Whichever style he sees in the television, you will find him alone in the field trying to practice what he saw.
It encourages me to have a very big dream, vision, becoming a nice footballer in the world. The TV has changed my life.
中国人历来主张世界大同，天下一家。中国人民不仅希望自己过得好，也希望各国人民过得好。
The concept of building a community with a shared future for mankind is gaining consensus around the world. It has been incorporated into various documents of multilateral organizations such as the United Nations and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Over the years, the concept has been enriched to include building a shared future in such areas as cyberspace, ocean, health, environment, and global development.
We have one planet, one humankind, and one future. These are three areas we are living as one. This is a very important concept which President Xi Jinping has declared to the world.
Despite the challenges, peace and development are still the prevailing trend of the day. Through cooperation and mutual benefit, countries are increasingly becoming a community with shared interests, shared responsibilities, and a shared future. In the autumn of 2013, President Xi proposed the Belt and Road Initiative. Since then, the BRI has flourished as the flagship of China's international cooperation efforts, boosting connectivity and creating new opportunities for common development and shared prosperity.
We can see from the face of the train, it adopts the face of Komodo dragon. Komodo dragon is a very famous animal originated from Indonesia. For the interior of the train, we also adopted West Java batik.
As an important stop on the ancient maritime Silk Road, Java Island in Indonesia saw the arrival of famed Chinese navigator Zheng He 6 centuries ago. Today, the island is witnessing the joint construction of a major railway project. The Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway, an iconic project under the BRI, is expected to cut the intercity commuting time from 3 hours to 40 minutes upon completion.
Saya lumayan sering sih ke Bandung, ya bisa sebulan sekali, dari setahun bisa 7-8 kali. Kalau ternyata cepat ya mungkin bisa cari rumah atau tinggal di Bandung ya kerja di Jakarta. Kalau
我们深切地感受到，雅万高铁呢，一方面呢能够带动我们当地的基础设施，一方面是我们能够使我们当地的技术人员能够学到高铁建设中所需要的基本的知识和技能。
The BRI provides an important platform for building a global community of shared future. Over the years, it has become a popular international public product and the world's largest international cooperation platform.
It is a bold and great initiative which has transformed much of the communication, transportation infrastructure and brought China closer to the rest of the world.
このように着実にですね、一帯一路構想が現実のただ単に絵に描いた餅ではなくて、役に立つ繁栄を地域の繁栄をもたらすものとして一歩一歩前進してきていることは大変評価すべきだと私は思っています。
和平发展、公平正义、民主、自由，是全人类的共同价值，也是联合国的崇高目标。
The common values of humanity have further enriched the concept of a community with a shared future for mankind. This vision is China's solution to global challenges. It serves the interests of all countries and peoples and sets the right direction for a world undergoing major changes and transitions.
我叫侯祖墨，来自塔吉克斯坦。 我从2016年开始学习汉语，2017年的时候就正好有这样的机会来到中国上学嘛。在这4、5年我在中国的生活当中，慢慢的融入到这个中国文化。我觉得世界的现在各个地方的文化虽然不同，我们各个国家的文化都是连在一起的，应该是融合在一起，这样可以共同发展，共同进步。
文明因多样而交流，因交流而互鉴，因互鉴而发展。
In January 2017, as the world faced a rising tide of deglobalization, President Xi came to the Swiss town of Davos. As the first Chinese head of state to attend the Davos Forum, Xi expounded on China's stance over upholding economic globalization and multilateralism.
中国人民张开双臂，欢迎各国人民搭乘中国发展的快车、便车。
我经常引用这个进博会作为一个例子，向这个世贸组织成员来宣讲中国的开放政策。我说，有人批评中国是保护主义者，是重商主义者。可是你们在历史上见过有重商主义者组织进口舶来货的吗？鼓励大家进口的。
我们希望中国的市场能成为全球的市场，成为共享的市场。我们不仅发展自己，而且我们也造福世界。
While some countries are retreating to unilateralism and isolationism, China has been leading a defense of multilateralism to make economic globalization more invigorated, inclusive, and sustainable.
世界上的问题错综复杂，解决问题的出路是维护和践行多边主义，推动构建人类命运共同体。
Amid the rise of unilateralism and protectionism, China has consistently championed multilateralism, demonstrating its sense of responsibility as a major country.
I would like to say thanks to China, and China is always with us in every difficult situation, and thanks to all.
My wife and I, we took the jab free of charge, and it was a donation as a gift, and we were the first country to get the donation of 2 million doses. So that shows China's generosity, China's vision, China's decisiveness in sharing.
当前，疫情仍在全球肆虐，人类社会已被深刻改变，世界进入新的动荡变革期。每一个负责任的政治家都必须以信心、勇气、担当回答时代课题，做出历史抉择。
At this UN General Debate, President Xi proposed a global development initiative for the first time, calling on all parties to forge a united, equal, balanced and inclusive global development partnership.
Looking at the initiative itself, it focuses on advancing priorities-based cooperation. Cooperation that is friendly and that is focusing on poverty alleviation. So that proposal, I think, is very important because poverty alleviation, food security, COVID-19 response. Addressing those things, you are speaking to the hearts of the people of East Africa.
China has sent agricultural experts to Africa, who helped a great deal in ensuring increased yields in the production of food crops, including rice and millet.
The Chinese here, when you come, you acquire skills from here freely. They train. The farmers will benefit in terms of mastering the knowledge of production of rice.
Through hands-on training, Chinese agricultural experts have brought smart farming to the ancient land in East Africa.
I'm happy I'm the first Ugandan here to start flying a drone for agricultural drone. I'm gaining a lot.
As President Xi said, sustainable development is the good development. and common development is the real development. The GDI is part of China's endeavour to implement the vision of building a community with a shared future for mankind, which helps boost inclusive and common development around the world.
We need to center all the efforts in development, because if all the countries can develop, all these problems will be solved. I think that it's the greatest contribution of this initiative of President Xi Jinping.
South Sudan in East Africa is one of the least developed countries in the world. Years of conflict have brought serious famine and fear to the local people. China's blue helmets have arrived here to promote peace.
在烈日下站岗，在风雨中巡逻，我们见证了南苏丹人民对于和平的渴望。
和平，和平，我爱和平。
Peacekeepers are our good friends. They only brought us daily necessities, books and sanitaries, but also taught us knowledge and skills, making our lives full of hope.
They're doing an excellent job, and one that is extremely beneficial to the country and to the population of South Sudan. The population count on the peacekeepers, they count on the peacekeepers from China.
为了促进世界安危与共，中方愿在此提出全球安全倡议。我们要坚持共同综合、合作、可持续的安全观，共同维护世界和平和安全。
En ambos casos, impresiona la capacidad de inclusión que tienen estas iniciativas en cuanto se han pensado desde una perspectiva de sabiduría milenaria de China, pero haciéndole frente a problemas que son globales y siendo sumamente respetuosos de lo que es la realidad de cada país y de cada pueblo.
To the question on the future of humanity, China has given its answer: to build a community of shared future for mankind, and to build an open, inclusive, clean and beautiful world that enjoys lasting peace, universal security and common prosperity.
中国人始终认为世界好，中国才能好；中国好，世界才更好。
While sitting tests in the new era, the CPC has always stayed true to its original aspirations. The remarkable changes that took place in the past decade are a milestone in the history of the party, New China, reform and opening up, socialism and the Chinese nation. The upcoming 20th CPC National Congress will lay out goals, tasks and major policies for developing the cause of the party and the country in the next 5 years, or even longer periods to come. They'll be pivotal to the further development of the party and the country's cause, the future of socialism with Chinese characteristics, and the realization of national rejuvenation.
征途漫漫，唯有奋斗。我们通过奋斗，披荆斩棘，走过了万水千山。我们还要继续奋斗，勇往直前，创造更加灿烂的辉煌。